Hey everyone, I wanted to give you guys a structure for how the AP exams are going to work for me in class. When we do a short exam, like we're going to do this coming Monday, it's going to be a one-period exam, 45 minutes long. You will be given two sections, multiple choice section. It'll be about 11 to 12 questions, and that takes approximately 15 minutes. You will have no more time than the 15 minutes allowed because on average you get 77 seconds per question to answer for the multiple choice. So I'm going to give it to you just like you'll see for real in May. I'm also going to give you two free response questions because that's also 15 minutes given per problem. So that adds up to a total of 45 minutes for your exam. I'll talk about the structure for the big test at the end of the quarter later. But in this one, since you're going to see a multiple choice, I figured I'd show you a multiple choice example. And one other thing I'll show you is what the exam booklet would look like if you are taking the real test. You can see that you have 45 minutes to complete 35 questions, which again is at 77 seconds per question average. You're allowed your pencils. You are not allowed any electronic devices, so no calculators are allowed in this section. They do give you the page of fundamental constants, and the huge thing down here is they give you the values of the trig functions. So if you're given any angles in any of your problems, you're able to use that sine of 30 is exactly a half, or the cosine of 37 degrees is 4 over 5. So they're giving you those so that you can do some quick math in your head, and you can use gravity as 10 in most scenarios instead of using 9.8 just to make the numbers work a little bit easier for you. So the multiple choice example that I'll go through, you can see something like this. Every question has 5 choices. You've got A through D as an answer. Only one answer is correct. So you've got this, an object sliding off the roof. It's 10 meters above the ground, moving initially 5 meters per second horizontally. Give us the time for the object leaving the roof and hitting the ground. What answer is correct? You have 77 seconds to answer this, and again, constant sheet, but it looks like we don't have any equations to use. So you're going to have to know and remember some of the basic equations from that sheet. I will give you scratch paper when you go and do these problems so that you have something to work on. In the example here, we said it was a 10-meter tall cliff with a ball moving forward with a 5 meter per second horizontal speed. The question was interested in how long does it take that ball to reach the ground. That means I'm only caring about the y component. I don't care anything about the x because if there's no gravity, that thing will never hit the ground. Looking at it vertically, I know my initial speed 0, my acceleration must be g, the height is negative 10 meters, and that's really all the information you know. So you've got to go and think back to the formulas that you have and say, okay, VOT plus 1/2 AT squared tells me my height. I know that my starting speed is 0, so that whole feature goes away. Solving for time gives me the square root of 2 times my height over gravity. I want the time to the ground. I punch in 2 times 10, that's 20 on top. Gravity can round to 10 on the bottom. Square root of 20 over 10 is the square root of 2. So your best answer there is C. And again, you have 77 seconds to answer that. Not all questions are mathematical. Sometimes they're just conceptual questions. So some questions that take you only 10 seconds to answer will give you extra time for the ones that may go beyond. When you get to the free response questions, you can see there that the total time on the real test is 45 minutes for 3 questions. You're allowed any writing utensils, calculators are back in play, and not only do you get the constants, but you get all the formulas here. So you don't have to memorize any formulas when you do free response. You're just going to have to remember some for the multiple choice. In terms of free response, if you want some additional help for the free response questions, I suggest you go to our class page and go under lesson plans, and up here I've got frequent resource links. Remember, you've got our YouTube channel, which you can go back and review at any time. There's also Crash Course Physics. I highly recommend that site. That also will help you out. And down here, I've got mechanics tips. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to the AP site. And if you go look on the AP site, it'll give you the course overview and things that are covered in this class. But where you want to go is exam practice. Exam practice will take you to a page where it tells you, hey, this is the day the AP test is coming around, and it'll give you released exams from particular years. So if you look here, here's the 2012 free response questions and scoring guidelines. Here's 2016. So they have almost every single year of free response questions. And if you click on the free response, it'll say that there's a PDF. Continue into the PDF. So you can scroll through this and see all the questions that were asked in 2012. And this is an example of a free response question. There could be lab type questions. There could just be discrete questions that they ask about a specific problem. Or each question is worth a maximum of 15 points. So you've got 15 minutes to solve each question. Some may take you more than 15 minutes and some may take you less than 15 minutes. It all depends on what you're doing, but it's to get you used to seeing exam type questions that will be on the real AP test in the future. So good luck studying.